Welcome to another edition of the Nightly Nuge. And Ted, I know you are fired up to talk about this topic. I just want to throw a couple things out there to get your take on it. Of course, the J6 videos that were hid from us and very carefully edited so the people in power, the Dems, Cheney and Schiff and Pelosi, could tell a narrative that apparently wasn't true, has now been released. And I was a little disappointed with your friend Tucker Carlson, although it was great that he put him out on the Monday. But we didn't really see any more video, and he kind of let that topic go. I hope it wasn't because of the pressure that he was getting from the Mitt Romneys and Paul Ryans of the world. But I thought the video was enlightening. But most importantly, Ted, we have individuals that are in prison right now, gulags, as you call them, in Washington, D.C., that are being deprived human rights. This is on American soil, Ted. You and I were talking this past weekend. And I asked you this question: how can this be in America? And you said, your heart was broken. But I mean, I know this is a topic you know a lot about, Ted. Tell our listeners what you know and what you think we need to be doing.
Well, Keith, number one, I think every day on the Nightly News, we're going to put on the screen here, standupamericaus.org. Standupamericaus.org. The great General Paul Vallely, a hero of the military who lives and breathes and his pulsation come from his oath to the Constitution. He's 82 years old, but General Paul Vallely and I are working on an organization called Jericho, Operation Jericho, biblical and World War II references, where we're going to make sure that justice prevails. These victims of the January 6th scam, perpetrated by Uncle Sam and the FBI and the Democrat Party and Nancy Pelosi and her hammer boy, these victims are treated like it's the Midnight Express. I kid you not. General Paul Vallely of standupamericaus.org, he went in and he met with these heroes that are still in jail in horrible, filthy, third world conditions, deprived of medicine, deprived of hygiene, deprived of water and even somewhat reasonable food. I'm telling you, the stories he's gotten, these are Marines and Navy SEALs and Army Rangers. These are Green Berets. These are heroes of law enforcement that were just performing their constitutionally guaranteed God-given individual rights of protesting the government, First Amendment written down. And so far, they're innocent till proven guilty, but they've been kept in horrible, filthy cages for on to 3 years now, Keith. So All I can say is that this, there's a lot of tips of the spear of the culture war turned spiritual war, but that innocent Americans, and again, innocent till proven guilty, they're denied bail, they're denied exculpatory evidence, they're denied video footage that proves that they didn't do it. It's literally, and I'm going to give you the analogy here, the metaphor of a bank robbery. They came to my house and arrested me because they claimed that I robbed the bank down in the street. Well, I wasn't even in town when the bank was robbed, but somebody who doesn't like me said they saw Ted Nugent robbing the bank. And so the authorities on hearsay went and grabbed me and put me in a jail for months and years. And meanwhile, there's security camera footage at the bank showing who the real bank robbers are. And the judge and the prosecuting attorney in our court system won't let them show the clear and unambiguous video footage of the actual bank robber, but they keep blaming me, because the judge and the prosecutor and the court system doesn't like that Ted Nugent stands up for the Second Amendment. They don't like that I eat venison. They don't like that I spotlight cockroaches who violate their oath in the U.S. government. They don't like that, so they won't even allow the is it called exculpatory evidence? I mean, there's the footage of the guy that robbed the bank, and it's not me. They won't even allow that, and that's what's going on in Washington, D.C. So yes, this is not Cambodia. This is not North Korea. This is not the USSR. This horrible third world evil activity, anti-justice for the Department of Anti-Justice and a court system and judges and prosecutors that have no soul, that are violating violating their oath, that are violating the basic rule of law in America. The bad guys are getting away with it in the court system, and the good guys who were merely exercising their First Amendment are being treated like terrorists. It's so wrong. Stand Up America. US.org. We need all the help we can get, and we're going to get these people out. And then we're going to hold those accountable that violated their oath and violated the rule of law in the DC court system. I'm telling you, Keith, this is the worst chapter, I think, in the history of the United States of America.
I want to make one point, and then I want to ask you one final question, Ted. So if you're breaking and entering, that has a connotation. They said the J6 prisoners were trespassing. Well, if you were invited in
by law
that would
enforcement,
seem to me that you're a business invitee. And there is plenty of video where government officials, Capitol Police, invited those people in fact, unlocked the door and waved them in. That seems to destroy the entire narrative. And then number two, Ted, where is Ray Epps? Why is Ray Epps not in those gulags? Why is the other federal officers and undercover Capitol Police that opened the doors and led these people in and through the Capitol? Why are they not arrested, Ted? Our listeners, they want to know.
It can be summarized thusly, Keith. Jason Chasley with the horn and the Viking outfit, known as the QAnon shaman or whatever they want to label him as, he was literally given a tour by law enforcement on film, and he has been sentenced to 4 years in prison. He is in a jail cell right now. Somebody, everybody, call your senators and your congressmen, and we need to release Jason Chasley right now. We need to release George Kelly in Arizona for defending himself against armed invaders that our government failed to protect him from, and he protected himself, executing, like Kyle Rittenhouse did, the purest, most righteous instinct of mankind of self-defense. And Kyle Rittenhouse was bankrupted as the court system disallowed self-defense. In Arizona with George Kelly, they're not even allowing self-defense. In Washington, D.C., Jason Chasley is literally escorted by the police, and they claim that he's a violent criminal. Keith, we need to raise more hell with our elected employees. Every congressman and every senator should be badgered, should be pummeled on the phone and with emails on an hourly basis until Jason Chasley is released and the people who put him in there are put in the gulags. It's the court system that is the criminals in this case. It is the court system and the judges and the prosecutors and the DOD and the DOJ and the FBI. Those are the bad guys. And regarding Ray Epps, somebody isn't there. I'm pleading to my U.S. Marshal friends out there. Are you telling me you haven't got enough evidence? I've seen the footage. I've seen the test. I've heard the testimony. Somebody go arrest Ray Epps because he really was an instigator. He was the one responsible for the conduct of January 6th. That I think he's a government guy. I think Ray Epps fed. I think he's a federal stooge. Hey, Ray Epps, you punk. Somebody tackle Ray Epps and put him in a straitjacket and arrest him for the crimes that he committed on film. Meanwhile, let Jason Chasley go. Let Jason Chasley go. Operation Jericho, standupamericaus.org. Let's make this happen, America. If we can't get Jason Chasley out of jail, if we can't get George Kelly out of jail, if we can't completely throw out all the suits against Kyle Rittenhouse, we are Nazi Germany. Nice going, Uncle Sam.
Powerful, Ted. Well, you talked about the court system failing us. I want to talk tomorrow with you, Ted, about a bill that has been submitted in the Maryland legislature. You're not going to even believe this.
I believe it.
If you're under the age of 25, you cannot be charged with felony murder. We'll talk about that tomorrow right here on the Nightly Nooch.
Good grief.